Hello, English learners, and welcome back to Mr. Language. I'm your host, Mr. Language.
And I'm Anna. How are you doing today?
I'm feeling great, Anna, and I'm especially excited for this episode because it's a topic many people requested.
Yes, we've been getting messages from learners who are developers. They say, I know how to code, but I don't know the right English to use with my team. So today we are focusing on English for front-end developers.
That's right. Front-end developers work with code every day, but also with people. They need to talk about layouts, bugs, user interfaces, deadlines, and sometimes they have to explain technical problems in simple English.
Exactly. And sometimes the hardest part is not the code, it's the communication. So today we'll give you real dialogues, useful phrases, and natural examples you can use at work.
Let's start with a short conversation between two developers. We'll play the roles so you can hear how it sounds in real life.
All right, let's do it.
Hey, can you check my code?
Sure, what's the problem?
The navigation bar looks fine on desktop, but on mobile it keeps breaking.
Did you test it with different screen sizes? Maybe it's not fully responsive.
I used media queries, but the logo still overlaps with the menu.
Try reducing the padding or adjusting the Flexbox properties.
Good idea. Thanks. I'll push the update later.
That's a classic conversation you'll hear in any developer office.
Yes. Let's break it down. The phrase, check my code, is very common. It means review my code quickly to see if there's an issue. Another phrase is not fully responsive. That means the website doesn't adapt correctly to different screen sizes, like mobile or tablet.
And notice the phrase, push the update. Developers use that all the time. It means send your new code to the repository, usually GitHub. For example, you can say, I'll push the update after I finish testing. Or, she already pushed the changes to the main branch.
Exactly. Now let's try another scenario. Imagine you're in a team meeting and you want to suggest an improvement. Anna, do you want to role play again?
Of course. I'll be the team lead, and you can be the front-end developer.
Sounds good. Here we go.
Okay, team, how's the project going?
The layout is almost done, but we need to optimize the images. Right now, they slow down the loading time.
That's important. Do you have a solution?
Yes, I suggest compressing the images and maybe using WebP format.
Great idea. Please make a note of that and update the documentation.
Will do.
So in that example, you heard phrases like optimize the images and slow down the loading time. These are very natural. Optimize means make something work better. And loading time is how long it takes a website to open.
And don't forget, update the documentation. Documentation means the written files that explain the project, usually for other developers. It's good English to say, please, update the documentation. Or, make sure the documentation is clear.
Let's add another useful phrase, I suggest. It's very polite when you want to give an idea. For example, you can say, I suggest we use a grid system. Or, I suggest testing the layout on Safari.
Yes, I suggest is softer than we must. It makes teamwork easier.
Now let's practice a bug report conversation. Imagine you found a problem and you need to tell your colleague.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, I noticed a bug on the homepage.
What kind of bug?
The search bar disappears when you scroll down.
Oh, I'll look into it. Do you know how to reproduce it?
Yes, just open the page, scroll halfway, and then click inside the bar. It vanishes.
Got it. Thanks for pointing it out.
Notice how natural that sounded. We used phrases like, I noticed a bug, look into it, and reproduce it.
Yes. Look into it means investigate. And reproduce it means repeat the steps that cause the bug. That's very common in developer conversations.
Now let's imagine you're presenting your work in a demo meeting. Developers often need to show what they built.
All right, let's Roleplay again.
Okay, team, today we're showing the new dashboard. Mr. Language, can you walk us through the updates?
Sure. We redesigned the header to make it cleaner, and we added a dark mode option. We also fixed the alignment issues on the profile page.
Looks good. How about performance?
We reduced the bundle size by 30% and implemented lazy loading for images.
Impressive. Anything else?
We still need to improve accessibility. For example, adding alt text for all images.
That's important. Great work.
So here we learned words like walk us through, which means explain step by step. Also bundle size, which refers to the amount of code or files loaded by the browser. And lazy loading, which means loading elements only when they are needed.
And accessibility is another key term. It means making the website usable for people with disabilities, like screen readers. You can say, we need to improve accessibility, or accessibility is part of good design.
Let's also talk about collaboration tools. Developers often use GitHub, Jira, Slack, or Trello. Do you want to role-play a Slack chat, Anna?
Yes, let's do it.
Hey, can you review my pull request?
Sure, give me the link.
Here at Island, I fixed the button styling and added hover effects.
Looks good overall, but maybe rename the CSS class to be more descriptive.
Good point. I'll update it.
So here we heard, review my pull request. That's very common on GitHub. A pull request is when you ask someone to review and merge your code into the main project.
And hover effects means the style that appears when you move the mouse over an element. For example, the button changes color on hover.
Also, rename the CSS class to be more descriptive is a polite way to suggest improvement. You don't say this is bad, you say maybe rename it or perhaps use a clearer name.
Yes, polite suggestions are very important in teamwork.
Let's give our listeners more useful expressions. Imagine you're behind schedule. How do you say that politely?
You can say, we're running a bit behind schedule, or the task is taking longer than expected.
Exactly. And if you finish early, you can say, we're ahead of schedule, or the feature is ready sooner than expected.
Another useful phrase is, let's prioritize. That means decide what is most important. For example, let's prioritize fixing the login bug before adding new features.
Yes. And in many teams, you'll also hear deadline. For example, the deadline is Friday, or can we extend the deadline?
Let's now talk about design feedback. Developers often need to talk to designers. Let's roleplay again.
Okay. Hi, I checked the new mockup. The colors look great, but the text size is too small.
Thanks for the feedback. What size do you suggest?
Maybe increase the font to 16 pixels for body text.
Got it. I'll make that change.
So here we had phrases like mockup, which means a visual design preview, and font or text size are very common in design discussions.
Yes, and thanks for the feedback is a polite phrase to use. Always appreciate feedback, even if you disagree.
Exactly. You can also say got it or understood to show you listened.
Let's also include some testing vocabulary. Imagine a tester is reporting an issue.
The login form doesn't accept correct passwords.
That sounds serious. Can you send me the error message?
Sure, it says invalid credentials, even when the password is correct.
Okay, I'll debug it.
So words like error message, credentials, and debug are very important. Debug means find and fix the problem in the code.
Yes, and credentials usually means username and password.
Let's add one more situation. Code review feedback.
Good idea.
I checked your code. The functionality works, but maybe break the function into smaller parts.
Thanks for the suggestion. I'll refactor it.
Here we saw break the function into smaller parts and refactor. Refactor means rewrite the code to make it cleaner without changing what it does.
Exactly. And thanks for the suggestion is a good phrase to keep communication positive.
So listeners, remember these key phrases. They'll help you in real meetings, code reviews, and daily chats with your team.
We've given many examples, but let's summarize a few. Take a quick look. Out of alignment. Push the changes. Optimize the images. Loading time. Update the documentation. Look into it. Reproduce the bug. Walk us through. Lazy loading. Improve accessibility. Review my pull request. Rename the class. Behind schedule. Ahead of schedule. Prioritize. Deadline. Mockup. Thanks for the feedback. Debug. Error message. Refactor.
Yes, that's a big toolkit of phrases. And the more you use them, the more confident you'll sound.
Before we finish, let's talk about attitude. Developers sometimes get frustrated. But remember, English is not just about words. It's about tone. If you sound polite and positive, your teamwork will be much smoother.
Exactly. Instead of saying, "This is wrong," you can say, "Maybe we can try another approach." Instead of "You did it badly," you can say, "Perhaps we should improve this part." Polite language makes a big difference.
And don't worry if your English is not perfect. Most developers around the world are not native speakers. The goal is clear communication, not perfect grammar.
That's such an important reminder. Clarity is more important than perfection.
All right, I think we've given our listeners a lot today.
Yes, a full toolbox of English for front-end developers.
So practice these phrases. Use them in your daily work, and you'll see improvement very quickly.
And don't forget to subscribe to Mr. Language for more lessons.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
See you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.